Human evolution, dramatic social change, accompanying progress and transformation, needed a uniform discipline which will assess social interaction, issues that pervade society. Hence, the birth of social science, an attempt to solve social problems using limited evidences. Lewin, 1992. The concept of social science can be understood from a philosophical standpoint, which is the philosophy of social science. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges. My name is Christina Jacob from the Department of Psychology, and I go by the philosophy which says, pay now and play later. According to Allen, 1973, social science is the science of human life, meaning social sciences use evidences from natural science to solve problems. Areas in social science can be coined into what I call the 3 P's of social science, which is planets, people, and profits. People. In this category, we have sociology, which studies social relationships and institutions, and psychology, the study of human behavior and mental processes. Political science, the study of system of governments, political analysis and governance. Geography, the study of the planet, its earth and its inhabitants. Economics, the study of production, consumption of goods and services. On the other hand, it is not safe to assume you know what philosophy is, even though you have studied a whole number of it. According to researchers, philosophers have not come to the standpoint of what the subject matter is. No wonder William James said, and I quote, "One thing a philosopher is good at when called upon to do is to contradict other philosophies." What then is philosophy? Philosophy is the ability to observe knowledge and gather wisdom. Why wisdom? Because the good book says that wisdom is the principal thing. To further elaborate on this point, my colleague is going to come with the interplay of social science and philosophy.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, standing before you this afternoon is F. John from Psychology Extraction. I'm here to speak on the topic, the interplay between philosophy and social sciences. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, although various scholars are of the view that there's no relationship, no interplay between philosophy and social sciences. But talking about René Descartes, one of the renowned philosophers, one of the renowned philosophers, he let us to understand that philosophy is like a tree. That the root of the tree is metaphysics, the trunk is physics, while branches represent various fields of studies. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if philosophy gives birth to other fields of studies, you agree with me there's a relationship between philosophy and social sciences. According to my knowledge of genetics, from Gregor Mendel, the father of genetics, he let us to understand when a parent gives birth to a child, there are certain traits that is being transferred from the parent to the offspring. That means that if philosophy gives birth to other social sciences, it therefore means that there are certain traits, there are certain qualities in philosophy that is being transferred to other fields of social sciences. That means that there is a relationship. When you're talking about the positivism perspectives in regards to the relationship between philosophy and social sciences, the positivists let us to understand that there's no relationship. That the aims and the objectives of philosophy is to clarify some conceptual confusion and to establish a scientific status and validity. But Peter Winch, one of the social scientists, in reaction to this, let us to understand that when we are talking about philosophy, when we talk about philosophy and we're talking about social sciences, there's a relationship. According to his knowledge, he let us to understand that to be clear about the knowledge of philosophy and to be clear about the knowledge of social science amount to the same thing. He let us to understand that every worldwide study of the society must be philosophical, and every worldwide studies of philosophy must be for the betterment of the society. Here, Peter Winch begin to showcase the interplay, begin to showcase the relationship between philosophy and social sciences. It therefore means that you cannot talk about philosophy without making mention of social science, and we cannot talk about social science without talking about philosophy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, how can somebody talk about a field of study like economics without making mentions of Adam Smith? And the question is, who was Adam Smith? You agree with me that Adam Smith was a professor of moral philosophy who defined economics as the wealth of the nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wonder somebody would talk about geography without making mention of somebody like Thales, without making mentions of Anaximander. Anaximander was the first person to draw the map of the inhabited earth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it would be unintelligible and nonsensical to talk about sociology without making mentions of Herbert Spencer. The question is, who was Herbert Spencer? You agree with me that Herbert Spencer was an English philosopher who talked about intensively and extensively about the social Darwinism, and let us to understand that the purpose of education is not knowledge but action. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, what we call psychology today is a brainchild of philosophy. Philosophy gave birth to psychology in 1878. In 1870 and 1878, William Wundt established the first psychological laboratory in Leipzig. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it would be unintelligible to say there is no relationship between philosophy and social science. For me, I look at philosophy as wisdom and look at social science as the consumers of wisdom, meaning that philosophy produces wisdom while social sciences utilizes the wisdom for the betterment of the society. Thank you.